All right, everybody, welcome to Blades in the Dark, week number 2. My name's Matt, and you've already seen my face today. Oops, hello. And I'm joined by Anthony, Emily, Michael, and Ian. And we are going to play Blades in the Dark for the second week, back from a week-long break while Emily went to Disney World. So how's everyone doing? It's been a while. Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing just swell.
I'm
The
glad
sun
to hear
has
that.
come out. I'm at work all of the time.
And you don't work in the sun either, do you?
No, I'm on the inside.
Oops.
Yeah. So that's it, man.
All right, well, that makes that easy. Moving right along, Emily, how are you? It seems like you had an adventure since we last saw you.
She has to take up my time as well.
Yeah.
I guess I do. I also got to spend a lot of time in the sun and also lightning and torrential downpour and doom in Disney World, but it was super fun. I am slightly less white than I was before, not like my computer would show that. But yeah, I got to go do magical things in the most magical place on Earth. And now it's time for a magical night in the dark.
I was going to say, I find that it always rains at Disney World when you go, and then when you see pictures of other people at Disney World, it's always sunny, and yep.
Yeah, no, it was like I legit thought that I was maybe going to die by lightning at Disney World, and it was pretty scary, but the first day was like almost 100 degrees, and then all of a sudden it was like rain for 2 straight days. It was kind of fun because everybody's just running around in white ponchos and getting soaked. I also got to be in Hollywood Studios on May the 4th, so I got to meet Kylo Ren and Chewbacca. You know, life goals right there. So it was all worth it. It was a good time. Yeah.
Very cool. And how has your recovery been?
It has been. I slept many hours after I first returned, like 13 or 14 hours straight, which was phenomenal. And also awful, but I'm finally starting to feel like a human again, so that's good.
That's very good. Michael, how are you? How have you been?
That's me. That's my name. I just have a couple things, but the primary thing that everyone is super excited
Yes, please.
Oh my gosh.
Here it comes.
Oh my gosh, kitten hype.
It's a little ball of fur.
Oh my gosh.
There he is.
Hello? Hello?
Is he asleep?
He is asleep.
Oh my gosh, he's
He is tenacious about the sleep.
wow. Look
He's
at
just
that.
like, boop.
A lot of trust.
That is adorable. Gosh, I'm gonna have to come over after the stream.
Oh yeah. So that's my new cat. We got him a couple days ago. I just came home from work, and my dad was like, "Hey, your mom bought a kitten." So I'm like, "Cool."
Sweet.
Full story.
And now,
Kitten acquired.
So I have a new kitten. I had to replace the one that I lost because he went missing. Tears for the missing
Gosh,
Indiana
it
Jones.
was cat hype, and then now it's Bible thump.
that got sad pretty fast.
Oh.
I was
Oh,
there
gosh.
for that cat's birth, and so was Matt Dennis.
I
He
was, dude.
Also there for that cat's birth.
Yeah, I saw that thing be wet and disgusting.
Yeah.
I didn't want to,
Wow.
but I sure did.
We were playing Halo 3.
Yeah, it was Bungie Day. It was July 7th, 2007. We were playing Halo 3. I remember we were playing on one of the Forge maps, the sandy one. And your cat was being no, it was like the not sand trap, but like it was sand trap but with nothing on it. And yeah. Anyway, we'll just move on.
You guys had quite a journey into fatherhood, the two of you.
Yeah, we did.
Together.
Yeah, well, it was funny.
Two
actually.
dads,
Like,
one cat.
So the cat that is like his previous cat's mother was like just kept walking in here, and it showed no signs of pregnancy, and it just was like walked into the room and he was like, hey you guys, and we're like, what?
It's like that I didn't know I was pregnant show. Have you ever seen that
Whoa.
awful thing?
No.
Oh, never watch that show ever. You'll walk away thinking you're pregnant.
Yep.
Straight up.
I don't know if I'm pregnant most of the time. I could be wrong though, according to that show.
Yeah.
You know?
Can't say for
if,
sure.
if you watch that show, then you're gonna have that fear legitimately on the regular. It's bad.
Wow.
Don't watch TLC.
Yeah.
It's trash.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Thank you.
Tinder loving.
All right. So anyway, Ian, how you doing, my man?
I don't know now. How am I doing?
I don't know. We did
Are
just
you
take an
pregnant?
emotional
I'm
roller
all-
coaster.
I'm all places I didn't want to
First,
be.
I was happy about a kitten, then I was sad about Mike's
Yeah.
cat. Now I'm pregnant. I don't.
And then I might be pregnant. I mean,
Roller
We could
coaster
all
of
be
emotions
pregnant.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty normal, night.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Pregnant Tuesday.
Oh my god.
wow. But no, that'll never be a thing.
Wow.
Please.
Pregnant
I hope
Tuesday.
That's frightening.
Cannot say
Pregnant
that
Tuesday.
with certainty.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Nothing really new that I can think of. I will go on a short rant here
Uh-oh.
about how some people, Mike knows what I'm talking about. If you saw on Twitter, I went to go buy some cider for tonight's stream to drink on it because I love it. And while I was at the cashier, she told me, she's like, "Oh, can you give me your IDs? Because my brother's with me. My brother's 19. He doesn't drink alcohol. He doesn't want to drink alcohol. There's no way he's interested." So she's like, "Oh, can I see your IDs?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll give her mine." And then she looks at him, and he's like, "No, I'm not drinking it. I'm like, "He's not old enough to drink it." She's like, "Oh, well, then I can't sell it to you." I'm
Yeah, that's totally a thing in Washington.
Them's the rules.
So it sucks for
Lame
anyone
as
who's
well.
really responsibly buying booze for themselves and has a sibling with them, but that's the one case in which it's a bummer, because in all the other cases it's hey, that kid was like, "Hey bud, you want to give me some bud?"
Yeah.
And then you know
Bud.
I've
So I was
had
like-
things-
some bud,
Let me
comma
guess.
bud, not that kind of bud, the other Bud Light.
Oh.
But we do- so I also
the one
know
Bud
about
Bud.
that.
Technically, they're both of an age of
You were-
21.
Too
We're at
bad.
Right.
Walmart.
In Washington State, they are both legal for people of 21 plusness.
You were at Walmart, weren't you, Ian?
No, I was at New Seasons.
Oh.
Whoa.
'Cause I was at Walmart, and they wouldn't let me buy cider with my brother with me.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, hey, question for you guys. And by you guys, I mean the chat. And in fact, this is just a statement. If you hear a chainsaw tonight, can you just let me know? I know that's a weird thing. I told my brother, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be live streaming tonight. Can you maybe not use your chainsaw to do this stuff outside of my window?" But I hear it right now, and I don't know if you can. So if you can, just let me know, and I will, batten down the hatches. And
That sounds like something he'd do.
Then
You know
you'll
what,
get
though,
your
Matt?
chance.
Yeah, I'll
You
go
know
get
what,
my
though,
chainsaw.
Matt? I know your brother, and I think that something that he'd be likely to do is put on a hockey mask and then come in your door with a chainsaw while you're streaming.
Yep.
That seems like something he'd do.
Yeah, sounds about right. With that in mind, Ian,
local
do you
flavor.
have anything else you'd like to say?
No, except for Lady, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't. Come on.
Lady from New Seasons?
Yeah, I'm responsible. Now I have to drink vodka.
I'm responsible. I
Give you-
I play games. Alright, well, I had a good week. Emily was gone, so, it was fine. I'm just
Segue.
It was a good week.
You're better off.
I streamed a lot last week. Some of you might have seen me streaming some Overwatch, some Hearthstone, some Rocket League. I streamed a lot, which was a lot of fun. But now I have my fiance back, so I won't be streaming as much, which is fine because I like to spend time with her. No, it's a good thing. I just don't have as much free time.
It's true. I'd be
Overwatch.
like, "Hey, Matt,
and,
wanna
well,
play
it's
some
it's
video
very
games?"
convenient because
It's like-
Overwatch is the beta's over now, and holy moly, that was pretty sweet. I'm excited about it. I think I'm gonna get it. I asked some people on Twitter earlier today if they were going to get it. I didn't hear anyone saying no. I did hear, are the memes going to still be there? Anthony.
It's a valid
Are
question.
they?
And I guess
It's a
we'll
valid
have
question.
to find out. Will the memes
I don't think
still
it's
be
gonna last for
valid?
2 weeks without any games. You know.
I mean, there's still plenty of Bastion play of the games to run through,
I
think
saw
it's all-
a funny little picture earlier today, and it was of the play of the game screen. And it was like, this fucker
Yeah.
invests fucking turf.
Yeah, that wasn't that BJ made that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Accurate.
so that's what I did. I played a lot of video games and was sad that Emily was gone. So, but happy to be streaming. So I'm excited for today. It's kind of weird to take a break, going from like, hey, we're starting a new series, we're super hyped on it, and then like, okay, and immediately we're taking a break, a week off, and now we're going back into it. We're all kind of like in this weird state of like, how do we do this again? So bear with us as we start. I'm really excited to get going. Mike has us going into a good direction, based off of the early access kind of quick start guide from the Blades book. And I guess at this point I will just hand it over to Mike and let him get us started.
I accept it. I take it from you, and I get started now.
Good.
I do think the quick start it's a good place to start. It gives you enough to get a hold of without like giving you a tunnel to go down, so it's not super railroady. It gives some freedom there to mess around, so I kind of like it. So we're gonna start off in your guys' lair, which I remember correctly is a tavern of some sort.
Yes.
Because
it's some
Gambit.
Because Silas threw a guy off a roof and said, "I'm having this place now."
Oh, that was my house.
Yeah, that's his house.
Sure.
Gosh.
No,
I get these things confused.
No, but we have the bar because we were friends with the tavern owner, who knew that this tavern was going under, if you will, and as it was going under, he. Oh, do you hear the chainsaw? Yeah. Okay, well,
But I'm just always listening for chainsaws,
Because anytime.
well,
It's
I
his
must be
natural
I'll be coming for
predator.
you.
It's not yours. Gets me every time.
Anyway, so yeah, we got word from this other guy that this tavern was going out of business, and so Silas went and handled the situation the way Silas does in order to acquire us that bar as our sort of lair. And that bar has a couple attributes, right? It's like hidden and stuff. For whatever reason, my crew sheet didn't save. Maybe it's under what case this is here. It's
looks
hidden.
like it's saved.
Not on mine. It's fine. It's hidden, and it's we can train for prowess stuff there because we are the thieves. That is our thing, our playbook for our crew. And we have quality documents and quality weapons. So
Yeah.
Quality.
And I think Oscar joined Silas on the mission to acquire the tavern, correct?
He might have been there. It's pretty open ended. He could have been there for sure.
I think I remember a discussion last week where you, Oscar, were the one that heard about the tavern, and then you went and picked up Silas.
Well, yeah, I saw
muscle.
Silas. Yeah, I saw Silas beating up some other guy and figured this guy could probably do a good job of what he needs to do.
Yeah.
So I acquired his helpfulness for that.
Okay.
So yeah, it would probably make sense that I was there with him.
Okay, sure. So you guys are hanging out in the tavern. What do you guys typically do when you're just at the lair together, not doing a heist or a score? Like, what kinds of activities would we see you guys doing as we, open up on the opening scene with you guys in the tavern together?
Are we picking up where we left off? Because I think we were playing poker last time.
No,
I
so
think.
This is
that
not-
was our
this is
yeah
not
that was our
That's just.
that was our character intros. We can
Okay.
that was just a different scenario, but this is just sort of in general when we're all hanging out at the place we hang out at. What are we doing?
That's probably a pretty good representation of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time is spent playing poker and other card games. I think one thing that maybe Oscar does that's different is he spends a lot of time just kind of off alone, and like I imagine the lair isn't very big, so he'll go there and hang out and like be a part of it, but he's off in the corner like working on something, or it looks like he's sitting at a 2-person table and he's just sort of talking of course, we, the audience, know that he is talking to his brother, who is a ghost, who goes by the name Willie. But the rest of the crew just, this is sort of Oscar's thing. It seems like he's a little bit crazy. So he spends some time playing poker, but I think another thing he does is he spends some time kind of studying or like talking and discussing. And what he's discussing most of the time is the afterlife, and which isn't really an afterlife in this. It's more of the next step. And every now and then we hear the words like retirement plan thrown around with him.
Yeah, everyone has a retirement plan. No. Okay. What cases? What do we find Yuz doing?
I mean, if he's not at the hideout gambling, he's probably doing other things elsewhere. And what I mean by that is not to say that he's doing other things when he's not doing this first thing. I mean to say that he is always doing something.
Or someone.
True. That's
People are
thing.
things.
Same thing.
So it's
Yes.
he has
Not doing one thing, you're doing another thing. Okay, I understand.
or person. There you go.
Do we ever host like people? Do we ever have people come over and like gamble, or is this kind of like part of our thing? Is like we'll have people come over and be like, hey, there's a cool poker game going on, and then like basically we just know that you're gonna totally screw them over out of their cash, and that's sort of how we just make money on the side every now and then.
Do we need
Maybe-
cash?
Maybe just throwing it out there, maybe inviting people over to your hidden lair
Yeah.
all the time is not
Yeah.
the best idea.
Hey, you're right.
I'm gonna say Silas would have knocked that one out of the sky.
I
There.
was going to say that.
He would have thrown
That's
that one right off the roof.
Yeah, that's probably
as
what
a
cases-
criminal.
Yeah. Probably
Maybe
his
we
issue with
shouldn't do that.
Okay, so I think that Lyric, you have recently got a letter inviting you to a meeting with one Bazo, however the heck you want to say it. Ian was giving me problems.
Bozo.
earlier. Bazo.
Ooh.
Nice.
He's invited
Nice.
you
Nice
over
burn, bro.
to try and offer you some kind of job. He heard about you through your history, and he knows that you're fairly reliable, and says if you want to find some work, you can come find me. And their hideout was, let's see, they're the Crows. Where's their hideout at? Do we know that?
I don't
I
know
mean,
if
I
it's
assume
said
there
in
was an
the-
address on the invitation to go meet with him.
I'm just
Wait.
double checking to see if the handbook says where their hideout is.
What, you mean the Lamblacks?
Yeah.
It just-
Bazo's dudes.
Bajos. Yeah.
Bazo's dudes.
This is their turf, handful
the
of
proper-
brothels.
Probably like the
HQ,
leaky bucket or something.
HQ is in the opposite of a coal warehouse. There it is. Yeah, so there's down in the industrial district, there's an old coal warehouse. And you probably know the general area where it is, and there's some directions on how to get there in the letter. But he gives you a time at around 7 p.m., let's say, to come and meet him to get a job. So
So how do you swing this to us, Emily? Because we, the players, know that Anthony's character, Wakesis, has a bit of history with Bajo that...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice way to just completely turn against us our first NPC we meet.
So, would I do you think that I would know his name, or is it just like, hey, you want a job? Come get a job.
I think that the name is in there.
Okay.
So you know that the request is from Bazo Baz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm gonna say that, like, I don't know a ton about the politics of the city because I have spent so much time at sea, so I'm just sort of keeping an open mind. So I imagine, we're all in the lair hanging out, and when I'm not staring into the oblivion, I think, yeah, maybe I should let him in on the message. So I imagine that Lyric is she can be kind of plain spoken, especially since she's still dealing with some shit. So she's just kind of like, so I got a message. Some guy named Bazo Baz is offering me a job. Looks like I can bring some friends along.
Okay, never mind. What kind of job?
I haven't the slightest. I don't spend a lot of time around here, but I figure it's about time I start working on land for a change.
He gave you a job but didn't tell you what it is.
Not in the slightest.
Sounds like a good one.
Could
I
be an
mean, it's
adventure.
better than nothing, you know, so...
Do we?
That's what I say.
Is it a job for money?
I dare say that is kind of what makes a job a job. There's a little coinage involved.
Money was implied.
All right. All right.
You said Bazo Baz, right, lass?
Right.
Isn't he the leader of the Lampblacks?
That's what I hear.
Aye, they're mean.
Do we really need money per
Yes.
se?
You guys have 2
What?
coin.
I'm not
What
asking
are
you.
what are you talking about? Okay, so of course
Where
I
is
need
this
money.
amazing ghost voice?
What? No, Oscar.
Just
Oscar
reminding
has the...
you.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking about Willie. I'm like, Oscar has an accent.
I mean, what is it? You need money? I got money. I can give you money. Come on.
You've got money.
I don't know if that's sustainable, sir.
What cases? Maybe. Well, I know you're new to sticking around, but what you should know is money isn't the only thing we need. We also need resources, land, turf, reputation.
Yeah, we can't grow if we don't get money.
Gotta go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Growing is great. Growing is great. Love to grow. Growing is just fabulous. What's the job about?
What's wrong with you, mate?
You hear Oscar like talk off to the distance, and he's like, "What is he on about?"
What are you so afraid of, man?
I've never been afraid.
Mate, I've seen
Die.
a lot of people that are afraid, and you are afraid. What's up?
No. What kind of job is it? I love jobs.
Like I said, I didn't get a lot of information. All I got is an offer,
It
and
sounds
that's
like
pretty much enough to go on for me.
it sounds like it might be good enough to go check it out. I mean, this is the leader of the Lampblacks. He's got a reputation. They're fighting
Great.
the Red Sashes. It might be a good time to get in there and see what he's on about.
Well, should we see what the red sashes are about?
They're about swords.
Oh, well,
you-
yeah.
You might see them. They've got red
I-
sashes and swords. That's what they're about.
Check it out.
Look.
That's
In
cool.
my time as an investigator, I've spent a lot of time around the common folk. A lot of them are Lampblacks. They're good people. They're just angry.
Well, I don't know about that big good people, but they have offered us a job, so maybe we should do the job.
That's true.
I think
It's
so.
pretty simple.
He's got a point.
You get a job, you do the job, you get bigger. Then you give jobs out.
In big.
And hey, he's a whiskey lover too, so he
Oh.
could get a little booze out of the deal.
Do we know that he's a whiskey connoisseur? I mean, I imagine.
Says in the book.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think
not
that
everything
you
that's said in the book
that.
is something that our characters would know.
I
But
know.
I guess maybe he does have
I
a
know
reputation for it.
one of us who might know.
No, he only knows what Bazo's
He
wife
loves
is a
whiskey.
connoisseur of.
He loves
Oh.
whiskey. He just can't finish his own jobs. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh!
He needs our help.
Shots fired.
Let's check it out. It's great.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, you guys, you get there and you get to the front entrance of the coal warehouse. unless there is anything else you guys wanted to do before you actually get there, we're just going to jump right to it. You know.
No, I think that just on the way, like we can see that, like there's a couple moments wherein like Oscar is kind of falling behind in just walking there, because again he's got a cane and he's just generally not as quick as everybody else, and and he just kind of looks up and like adjusts his glasses and he's like, oh pucks, and he like you can see him kind of walk faster. He's kind of like hoping that they would just keep his pace, but you're obviously not, so. Yeah.
Oh, I'd keep his pace.
Oh, okay. Well, at least Silas is
would.
walking with me then. My man.
Take him by the arm.
Just picks him up and says, "Come on, let's go."
Whoa.
You're a good Boy Scout.
Okay, yeah, you get there, and it's this big, looming, and iron-looking building, and it's just covered in soot, and there's piles of coal around the outside and around the doors. It looks like it isn't fully functional at the moment. I don't think. I think that it's more of an abandoned warehouse, because they're not really in the business of running a coal warehouse. That they just found this warehouse or kicked out the previous tenants, whatever.
Perhaps this was something that they owned before, like the lamp started being, like
possibly
made from ghost liquid. So, or like, sorry, well, electricity, which is made from ghost liquid in this campaign. So perhaps as we're approaching, as we like round the corner and we see it, Oscar, who's been in the city his entire life and is really old, he looks at it and is like, I know it looks like nothing, but it used to be a gem.
Mate, I don't think it was ever
not a gem. Not a gem, a gem. It's different,
I mean, this looks like a pile of shit, so I don't think it was ever a gem.
Could have been at some point.
You're
No.
not wrong.
Looks can be deceiving.
There's
I'm not judging yet.
Yeah, just take cases for example.
Whoa.
Oscar's laughing.
Silas smirks.
I'm like I can hear that. I'm just sweating. I'm just sweating. Like it's like looking at
Silas
other things.
walks up to Ocasis and like slaps him on the back heftily, and he's like, "Mate, are you okay?"
I'm great. I just need a drink.
I reach into my satchel and I pull out a little handkerchief and I wipe my own brow with it, and I'm like, "Oh, they're going too fast for you too, huh?"
You could say that, old man.
Okay.
there's probably two thugs that are standing at the front door. Looks like they probably have billy clubs like strapped to their side. Big burly looking dudes, with vests on and shaved heads, and they're standing there with their arms crossed as you approach the door. Which one of you? I suppose they would probably speak first. You approach, and one of them like steps in front of the door and puts his hand out and says, "What's your business here?"
I guess
I could hold up the message that I received from Bazo Baz or whoever passed it on for him. I just hold it up. They can look at it.
Let me see that. And he takes it and he squints and he kind of like elbows his buddy next to him, and he's pointing at it, and he just shrugs and hands it to him.
I see. Sir, mate, so that's a letter from Bajo. He wants us to work for him. So me and my compatriots are here to work for him,
He's like, I know what it is.
No, I know what I know you know what it is, mate, but I'm just simply saying,
Don't treat me like an idiot.
I didn't say that, mate. Why are you treating me like an idiot?
Off to a great start.
Violently and hands it back to you. Says, "All right, go inside, up the stairs to the left." He opens the door, and you guys can walk in through the door if you so choose.
I choose.
So they don't frisk us or anything?
No.
Good.
They don't want to touch me. I'm still covered in crap.
On the way through, I just kind of say, "Hey, Steve."
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
Yeah, when you say that, he kind of the guy you spoke to, Steve, he leans over to the other guy, and he kind of whispers, and I think all of you can probably hear him say, "This is gonna be good."
I look at Wacasis very pointedly and say, "So, mate, is there anything you need to tell us?"
No, I love jobs. No.
Tell.
It's good to be working with you then, Wacasis. It's time to get to business, and let's go talk to this lad.
Silas starts walking up the stairs. I imagine he's in front and he sighs and he's like, "Well, it's gonna be right fucking good."
Yeah. As you guys walk up the stairs, you can probably see the floor has several other thugs of varying builds and heights and genders, and they're all they're wearing similar clothing. They're wearing probably like white undershirts with like black vests and like coal stained pants. And as you walk up the store, you can see them, and a few of them kind of look up and eye the group of you, and a couple of them like elbow and point in your direction. And to you, Ocasus, it always feels like they're pointing at you specifically. So,
I'm kind of ducking behind the group, just try not to be too conspicuous.
I think Silas will probably notice at least a couple of them looking and just be like, and just keep walking.
Oscar like takes his cane and like smacks Silas on the back like friendly, but like stop it, don't do that.
a few of them return.
He takes his other hand and goes like this. Where Oscar can't see it, he's like,
yeah. A few of them return the gesture to you. You know.
I smile at that.
As you do. So you get to the top of these iron staircases. They're on the left side of the warehouse floor, kind of going over big heaps of coal underneath them. The entire floor, there's just piles of coal, and they're just stained with black soot. And there's just remnants of a fully functional coal warehouse at one point. You get to the balcony up top, and there's a door that looks like it leads into an office, and there's two more thugs standing there. The door's shut and their arms are crossed, you know. And they say, "What's your business here?"
Looking for work. I take out the paper again, shove it their way.
They take it and they look at it and they nod. They hand back the letter to you. And we're like, "We're gonna have to ask you to remove your weapons before you see the boss."
Uh-huh.
I do absolutely nothing. I don't have any weapons on me.
Okay. This is a good time to ask what is everybody carrying, and now would be a good time to mark such things on your character sheet for the record.
Should we say what load we're at now?
Yeah, so go to your playbook, and you should be able to mark your what you're carrying. And for your special items, for the sake of the character sheet, I had to put 2 checkboxes next to those. That doesn't mean that all those items count for 2 load. You can reference your playbook, which should be there in the side on the journal tab, if you want to see how much load each of those things count for. I had no other way to do that, but just put a check mark next to what you want to have on your person, and then add up the check boxes for your total amount of load that you have on you. And
well, yeah, and also what you can do is you can just say, "I want to carry normal load," which is 5, and then you can decide what you want later on,
okay.
Like if you need something. But at this point in the game, this would be the point where you would if you're planning carrying a weapon, you would have to say, "I am carrying a weapon now," because there's no way you're getting in here without it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and to clarify, I have an unusual weapon, but it's my cane. So I imagine it's one of those things that like they're not going to take an old man's cane from him.
Yeah.
And I'm at light load. I've got an unusual weapon. I've got documents, and I've got subterfuge supplies, which I'm not actually sure what all that entails. The subterfuge supplies.
If you're ever wondering what something is, everyone should have their copies of the handbook. Let's see, the item descriptions are on page number 41, it looks like. So if you go to page 41 of the rule book, then you should see the descriptions for all of the items.
You can go through all the items and take a look at what you want.
Yeah.
I'm at 5 load, by the way.
Okay. So
And I don't look happy about it. And in fact, I say to the man, I'm like, mate, I'm not going to cause any trouble. Can I just keep it on me to be safe?
he's like, for the safety of everyone involved, you leave them out here. We'll take good care of them. You get them back when you leave.
And I changed it, by the way, from subterfuge to burglary tools.
Okay.
Mate, I don't think you understand me. I'm keeping my weapons for my safety, not yours.
Alright, then you can stay out here with us.
Can I roll, like, Intimidate or anything at this point, or...?
I'm sure there's something we can roll here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm standing very up in this guy's face now.
Okay. Are you trying to intimidate him? So
Yes.
this would probably be command then, would you say?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're at 2 dice for that. Let's see. This is probably going to be... I don't think this is even risky yet, so this is a fairly controlled situation. So let me just go here. Yeah. Just double checking. Yep. This will be a controlled situation. If you want to push yourself or ask for a devil's bargain, you can. Otherwise, you're just going to be rolling 2 d6s.
Can I ask for the devil's bargain and then take the... push yourself? I can't remember if you can do that.
You can request a devil's bargain be offered. That doesn't mean that you have to take it, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a devil's bargain. What would that be?
Let's see. I'd say that it would be that they let you keep your weapons, but let's see. And if any of you have any ideas,
Yeah, I have an idea.
Yeah.
They let him keep his weapons, but like the 2 door guards also come in.
I was about to say that. I think that's a good one. I will take it, yeah. I'll take that.
So you're going to be rolling 3d6s.
I'll go into mine and say that. Okay.
And like, not only do they come in, but they're like really watching Silas.
They're like on his ass, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think that's all we need to decide. Are you happy with that? 3d6?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Go ahead and roll 3d6. Highest result is a 4. That's kind of a success, right?
I did it, but...
Technically counts.
There's a consequence. Okay. Let's see. We could, let's see, yeah. It says you do it, but you end up in a desperate position.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you do it, but, you know, they're gonna be coming in with you, and, see.
And like, perhaps they're standing at range to be able to stop him from acting if we get into like a combat situation.
Definitely.
Like, I don't know. I'm spitballing.
Yeah, they'd definitely be able to be close enough to you that if anything goes wrong, like, their first action is going to be to just, like, both of them grab you and restrain you if anything starts to go wonky, you know?
I'd like to see him try that.
You know?
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I would be careful with that because, you know, things might go wonky. So, you never know what cases.
It's good.
Yeah. I like to
Nothing
think,
ever
like,
goes wrong.
so I stand up to them and I, like, really pointedly look at them in the face with, like, my black eyes and my blue, like, dim lights in them, and I look at them and I'm like, I'm keeping my weapons. And they're like...
Yeah, you say that,
Do that.
and they kind of, you know, stand up even straighter and, you know, brush chests with you, or at least one of them does.
Ooh.
He's
It's
like,
like
and he's a little, let's see, how tall are you?
very.
About 6 foot,
Yeah,
6
you're
foot
very tall.
1-ish.
So he has to look up at you a little bit. He's probably 5'8" or so. So he has to look up at you. But he's still trying to be an intimidating thug, right? So he brushes chest with you and he says, "Alright, you keep your weapons, but me and Tim here, we're gonna be stuck to you like glue."
Oh, mate, that sounds good. And I tip my hat to him, and then I kind of go like at the door, like after you.
I talk to Willie and I'm like, oh, he likes friends, doesn't he? And then yeah, he does. Yeah, he does like friends. I know. I don't get it either. He could just be fine, but no, he's got to have friends.
All right. So the door opens. What's the marching order of entering the room? Would you
Oh man,
say?
we're playing D&D, aren't we?
I
Whoa.
just need to know at what point Bazo sees Wakasis.
Never.
I imagine that Wakasis probably goes in last. Probably
Oh,
like
yeah.
after.
I'd
after
imagine he
Oscar.
hides behind Silas.
I would imagine that since the letter went to Lyric would lead
Yeah.
in. It'd probably
Mhm.
be
Okay.
Oscar or Silas after that, and then
Yeah,
Wakasis at the end.
I think that sounds fair.
Wakasis, would you perhaps like to try to hide?
Disguise myself
I mean,
with the disguise kit that I have
Oh.
in my kit.
Can you do that in like
Yeah.
3 seconds?
Well, no, you can do a flashback. You can,
Yeah.
You can retroactively have disguised yourself.
yeah.
No,
if
I
you
would
wanted to.
not.
Damn.
Okay.
Whoa.
Alright, you know,
That's my
It's
boy.
an
That's why you're sweating.
Like,
That's my
that's what
boy.
flashbacks are for, you know?
yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Not
So-
this.
Silas is 6 foot tall. How tall is Wakasis?
Silas is just an even 6.
About 6'1" you know.
I want to know how easily you could hide behind Silas and the 2 thugs who are escorting Silas.
I'm probably like 5'11" and 2/4.
Just
Not
enough.
very. Well, I mean, I'm like kind of not a skinny guy, but like a smaller guy than him for sure. But I still can't just hide behind him perfectly, you know.
We could probably make some sort of roll to see how successful you are at trying to hide if you want
I'm
to
not.
do that.
I'm not like actively like hiding in the shadows or anything. But I'm not making eye contact with anyone. I'm
Yeah.
just like trying to blend in behind him.
So you're
not-
kind of probably just trying to not be noticed and
Just minimize my presence,
Sure.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you walk in and Lyric probably first, then Oscar, then Silas with his 2 boyfriends, and then Wakasis. And you walk in and Bazo he's looking at some papers on his desk, so he doesn't acknowledge you right when you walk in the door, and he starts to speak up before he even looks up to make eye contact. He's all like, "Glad you could make it. Listen, got a little bit of a dangerous job for you." And at that point, he looks up and he says, "You brought some friends." He's like, "I'd like to meet them. Introduce them to me."
But of course.
Silas knows something's up with Wakasis, so he kind of like glances over at him and just smirks, like, "You're fucked, mate. You're screwed."
So I kind of I stand aside and like sweep my arm because I'm still not saying much, not really into conversation. So I just kind of back up, look at you guys, and
I
just
noticed the
nod.
lyrics just kind of giving the like floor. So all I do is I just kind of like cane up toward the desk and I go, "I see we haven't been introduced. My name's Oscar. Nice to meet you."
And he shakes your hand and he's like, "Good to see someone with some manners." You know,
So I say, "Yeah, isn't that right, Willie? It takes one of us to do that." And then I walk back.
and he kind of is like, "All right."
And then
He-
I peek over and I'm like, "And there's the big one's my friend Silas. He's a teddy
Silas
bear."
looks at the guards. He's like, "Well, I mean, can I go say?"
and I think Bazo, he probably looks at the 2 guards and he's like, "Tim, John, is there a problem with this one?" and they just kind of cross their arms and say, "He wouldn't give up his weapons." It's like, one of them, are you?
He's a
I wouldn't give up
gentleman.
I wouldn't give up my weapons either. So he walks over and he shakes your hand.
Yeah.
And as he's shaking your hand, he kind of looks over your shoulder and makes eye contact with Wakasis.
And
he-
that's my friend Wakasis. He's new around here. From Tykeros.
He's like, "Shut up."
Sorry. And then
And he
he's
kind
a
of
rude one, isn't he, Willie?
pushes Silas aside, and he
Ooh.
comes up and do you respond in any way, Silas?
You know, I do.
Okay.
How hard is the shove?
It's the kind of shove where it's like, listen, I'm just on the borderline of being really rude, but still kind of trying to not be rude, but he's
Okay.
like just almost that over that line, you know.
I stumble back, but like in the stumbling back, Silas like kicks his foot out like to make it look all natural and tries to trip him essentially.
Tries to trip Bazo.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how successful you are with your trip move. This would be finesse? Question mark?
Yeah,
What do you think?
Probably.
It sounds like
Probably.
he's trying to
Yeah.
make a very coordinated movement. I would say it's probably finesse.
Hold on a second, guys.
Goodbye, kitty.
Hi, kitty. Alright, sorry. Where were we? Alright, we're tripping the guy who's trying to give you a job, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just about the time
Gosh, dang
about
it.
to the point where we die.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the end of Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Next
Oh,
episode is
yeah.
not going to be May 17th since we're all dead now.
We can all be ghosts.
So
Yeah.
here's what
Yeah.
here's what we can do. You can either roll flat off of your action, which you have 0 dots in, so you'd be rolling 2d6s and taking the worst. If you take a devil's bargain or push yourself, you will roll 1 dice.
Hmm.
So you can choose those.
This isn't so much of a. I should probably try to roll 1 die, shouldn't I? Just in case. What's the devil's bargain that would work here?
Let's see. I think
You fall too.
Maybe you trip him, but he knows what you tried to do.
Oh.
I think that was going to be my suggestion, and then he's pissed at you as well. You know.
Nice.
Hi, I'm
haven't
Oscar.
said
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Oscar. I'm a friend.
Yeah, just hire the whispers. Screw the rest of them.
Good.
Yeah.
We're the mannerly types.
I have manners.
Kinda.
I said thank you.
He only boned his wife
That's his
a while ago. that's all.
I didn't say I was mean about it.
You know what? No, I don't want. Yeah, know what? Screw it. I'm taking the devil's bargain. I'll do
Okay.
it.
Roll 1d6.
We did.
You, not only does he know what you tried to do.
Wait, what
Done.
position was that?
Oh, that's a good point. That would have been
He just shoved you. That would have been desperate.
risky, I would say. I would call it risky. If anyone has any other reason why they
Yeah,
think it should be
I think it
desperate.
should be desperate because there's 2 guards right next to him, and he
Yeah.
just got shoved out of the way.
And this is the guy we're trying to get a job from.
Yeah. And this is
Alright,
just a
desperate
shitty
it
idea, so.
It's not a great idea, guys. Very few things that you guys are going to end up doing are going to be good ideas, though. So
Okay, then. Well, I'll just mark XP.
Oh boy.
So, yeah,
Good
you got
ideas
a
for real
3.
life.
So, let's see. I think that what happens is that he tries to like shove you out of the way, and you like try to kick up your foot, but it's like super obvious what you're trying to do. And John, the thug to your right, he has been watching you like a freaking hawk this entire time, and he sees you go to look like you're trying to kick Bazo, and so he just brings his right arm across and just, boom, like clotheslines you in the face, and you fall flat on your butt, and you're gonna take a harm.
I'm gonna resist that.
All right. Resistance rolls. Where's my rules for resistance rolls? There it is. 1 dice for each attribute dot, and you will be rolling off of your
Prowess, I'd imagine.
Or would it be?
It's not knowledge. We know that much.
Nice.
Got him.
Well, it's not using my brain or people skills, so...
Definitely not.
So 3 then, since you're rolling prowess.
Yeah.
Rolling 3 dice. All right. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. Your resistance.
Right now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
That's a crit. If I had... Oh.
Yep. When you roll a critical on resistance, clear 1 stress. You don't have any stress at the moment.
Oh, well.
So you're just not going to take any stress, and you are able to successfully resist that.
I like to think, like, he throws his hand, and, like, I grab it, and I'm like, Mike, what was that for?
You're making this worse. I want to let you know.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
So can I get a picture of who is like flat on their face right now and who is standing?
Nobody's flat on their back right now.
Okay.
Because he was able to resist the being knocked on his ass.
And he didn't succeed at tripping him.
Right.
Okay.
But the guy on your right, his name's John, he threw a haymaker at you, and you caught his arm.
Not like in a grip, but like grabbed to like stop. Like, what the heck was that for? You know, like why?
Are you going for a block, a grab?
What kind of martial arts moves are you doing?
I'm just throwing my hand up to catch his arm from hitting me in the face. That's all. I'm not trying to be aggressive towards him. I'm just like, that's all.
Okay. I think you got a critical success, so I'll let that one slide without sending you deeper down this dark abyss of ever increasing consequences
Of the worst
to your actions.
job interview ever.
I just kind of look at Lyric, and I just kind of give it this look like what the hell is going on? And I'm like, when y'all are done pussyfooting around and fighting, I'm ready to hear about this job. If you don't
That's
have a
what
job
I
and
came here for.
you'd rather let me try that again, because Irish accents are hard. You'd rather fight. You try to say you'd rather with an Irish accent.
You'd rather fight.
See, it doesn't work for me. My tongue can't do it. Anyway, if you'd rather fight, then I can just go home. I don't need to be here. I've got other people looking for work. And workers. This was a direct address to the full room. to Silas and as well to Bazo and his guards. Like it was to everyone like, hey guys, can you calm down?
Can you not?
I was giving the players a chance to respond.
Silas is like all jovial, like innocence, like feigning innocence, like, oh, I didn't do anything. You know, he like puts the guy's arm down and he's like, you know, like, and he kind of just like acts like nothing's going on.
So how far towards me did he get before that happened?
Well, he's
Like
right
in
up
front of me, right?
He's in front of you.
Okay.
And through this entire thing that's going on, he hasn't lost eye contact with you. He is dead, staring you straight in the face.
He just
the
can't
entire
take his eyes off of you.
It's not the first time.
First his wife, now him.
He is upset. He is not pleased with your presence.
I like, shove my hand forward like, hiya, sir. Pleased to meet you. I'm Bilbo.
And he does not shake your hand at all.
I like grab his hand and shake it with my hands.
No, I don't think he lets you do that either.
I reach for his hands and try to shake them. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you.
He like shoves you back when you try to reach
I
out.
fall like all the way over. I just like stage fall onto the ground.
Wow.
He's like, he looks over at Lyric when you fall on your ass, and he's like, "What is this?"
I don't know. What is this?
A fucking terrible interview if I've got anything to say about it.
Yeah, I say from the floor.
Look,
What's the beef here exactly?
He's like,
clearly you've got a history, but I don't need to care. I don't need to hear it. I don't care about it. I want to hear about this job. If you don't have it, if you don't want us to do it, then just tell us and we'll leave. If you still want our work, then let's talk.
he leaves Wakasis on the ground, and he walks over to his desk around the other side, puts his hands on the desk, and he's like, "Well, I don't really have very many options, so I guess you're it." And he looks at all of you, but Wakasis, you probably feel like he's addressing mostly you, but you know, there's the implication that he's also addressing the whole group. He's like, "But if you fuck me, they'll never find your bodies."
I'm not into men. You've got nothing to worry about.
He looks
What kind
at
of job is this?
I don't want to know about your sexual preferences, mate. I just want a job.
But no,
He
that kind of
sighs.
job.
He walks over to a cabinet over on the right side of the room, and it has a small lock on it. And he bends over it and fiddles with it for a second and pops it open, opens the cabinet and pulls out a dusty-looking bottle of amber liquid, sets it on his desk, flips over a small glass and starts to pour one. Then puts the stopper back on the bottle, you know, and as any whiskey connoisseur would, he's swirling it around, you know. Looks like this might be something that he's trying to do to calm himself, almost like a ritual of sorts for him to ease his nerves. You know, he's going through the whole process of trying to enjoy this small glass of whiskey at this time to try to prevent himself from doing something stupid, like, I don't know, murking 4 dudes and woman that just walked into his office. So
Now, why would he want to do that? Come on.
he's upset.
Right.
You know,
I'm Bilbo.
if you keep trying to talk to him, Wakasis, he's trying to ignore you, but you can tell that anytime that you speak, he winces a little bit, but he's really trying really hard to ignore you and drinking his glass of whiskey. Slowly, he doesn't down it all in one shot. He's sipping it. You know?
We see Oscar, like, you know how, like, normally someone has a cane on the one side of them. He kind of, like, puts it in front of him, puts both his hands on it, and is just kind of waiting for this guy to speak up. He's sort of giving an impatient posture, if you will. Like, he doesn't care for this show of, like, power with him drinking a fancy whiskey. He just wants to get to the business.
I think Silas would probably look at Lyric, like, pointedly and say, like, well, I mean, this is the job you were offered. I mean, you have questions for him.
I'm just waiting to hear it.
Yeah. He only takes a couple sips. He doesn't drink the entire glass right away. He takes a couple sips, sets it down on the table, and says, "Well, you are thieves, right?"
Mate, we can be whatever you want us to be.
Except for that, don't do that.
Yeah, that thing you were talking about, we can't do that for you. I don't, you know.
We've got the ability to
Pete
get
back
into...
there, he might be able to, and Silas, like, points at cases, like, jokingly. He's like, he
It's in
might
my
be
blood.
able to.
Look, it's Bazo,
It's
right?
somewhere.
Bazo, right? See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've got the ability to get into places we shouldn't with stuff we shouldn't. Look at Silas here.
I
He's
like
got
to
guns
think
right in
that
front of you.
you're supposed to be there at the right time. You know, it's not that we aren't supposed to be there. We're supposed to be there.
It's just the others disagree.
All right. So he says, so here's the job. I'm going to give you a location, and there is a safe inside. Maybe a couple safes inside, actually.
Does he say there's a couple, or does he say there's one, maybe a couple?
Yeah, he said that's what he says. He says there's one. Maybe there's a couple.
You don't even know how many saves there are.
There's probably a lot of safes, or
Understood.
one big safe, maybe.
All right.
Your job is to get in, crack the safe, get as much out as you can.
Why?
Because I'm telling you to, and that's the job that I'm giving you.
Wait.
And
Why
you're
does it
accepting a
matter?
job.
Why does it matter? Where's the job? When would you want it done? We'll do it.
None of that is your concern. You
But
are employees. The employer does not divulge all.
Right then, the
Details to the
employer will
employee.
tell us how much we're getting paid then.
Yeah, and also, where the fuck are we supposed to go? Because I need to go. No, I need to go to open this safe, mate. I ask you where we're gonna go.
That's information you're gonna get.
I
told
look
you.
at Silas and I go, Silas, shut the fuck up, mate. You're
Like-
not
Silas,
helping.
Silas
Do I-
looks at Oscar like, I'm asking you. This is a good question. Like, I need to know where to go. He's like,
I already told you I was gonna give you a location, and you're gonna break in and get the loot.
Understood.
Fair enough.
So,
All right,
what's the pay?
10%.
10%.
Of what we managed to get off with.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you estimate about 10% of this load will be?
I'd say. He looks like he's thinking.
10% could be a couple of coins or a new boat, depending on what exactly we're taking out of here.
He says 10% would probably end up being 10 coin for the lot of you
Yeah,
to split amongst yourselves.
Understood. That sounds like a deal we can take. Now, the reason I ask why, and I understand that that's not exactly a professional procedure, is you're in the middle of a turf war with the Red Sashes, correct?
I don't see how that's of any of your concern.
Silas looks at Oscar. He's like,
I'm just curious. Are we taking this from the Red Sashes? Or is
Like I
this,
said. None of your concern.
Sure.
Silas leans down to Oscar. He's like,
Hey, by the way,
I'm leaving it.
now
leaving it.
you need to shut the fuck
No,
up.
I know. I'm totally leaving it. I'm like, sure, whatever.
so just-
and where is it?
for the players to know, in case you want to make any rolls to resist this attempt of deceit, because he's trying to lie to you.
I do. I definitely do.
Yes, it's the red sashes.
Oh,
Aha.
I have resisted it then.
All
Okay.
right.
Is there anything else I can do to figure out more information than he's giving us?
This resistance roll would be just for you to be able to know that he's not telling you the whole truth, and you'd probably be able to decipher from that yeah, it's the red sashes
Okay.
that
So
you're stealing from.
Do I need to make a roll, or are we just?
Yeah, you're gonna be rolling. Let's see. Where'd that go? Nope, wrong tab, man. You are gonna be rolling insight.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 dice.
Okay. What is happening? Oh, click and drag to roll the dice. Okay.
5.
I forgot I had 3D dice
What's your
on.
highest roll?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's a partial success.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you're able to tell that he's. When you ask if it's the red sashes, he got a little uncomfortable.
Sure.
But you're not entirely sure like how significant this score would be to the red sashes.
Okay. Understood. So I just kind of move on from that, and I ask him where the place is.
He takes some paper, writes down a few details, and he hands it to you.
Okay.
And you guys will be able to look over that here after you guys leave.
Okay. Cool. I just kind of, I think I like cane up to the desk, and I kind of pick up the paperwork, and I just kind of, with my glasses, I'm just fiddling and looking at it, and I put it into that little satchel, and I say, when would you like this done by?
He thinks about it, and he says, by the end of the week.
That shouldn't be a
So
problem.
right now.
We'll talk about it in a second here, Silas. Oh, by the way, John is saying that I take a stress for that roll, since it was a resistance.
Yes.
So I will go ahead and do that. I'll mark that on my sheet.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part.
Got it. Good. We're good. Thanks, John.
No, John, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
We'll get it. We'll work on it.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
The difference between resistance rolls and regular action rolls.
Totally.
Gotta get it.
So at that point, is the meeting over? Do we walk out?
Yeah, that's the end of the meeting.
Okay, and we should take a break.
Yep, we can take a break.
So as Silas walks out, he tips his hat and he's like, Tim, John, Bajo, and he walks out.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I say, you won't regret this, sir. Bilbo always gets his man.
He just runs out of the room with his cape behind his head.
You say that Wacasis, and Bazo, he just looks extremely annoyed and gives a small up nod to one of the thugs in the office, and he just gives you a whack on the back with his little club. It doesn't do any harm, but it's just like a little, hey, stop being a dumbass kind of a.
I think you know my twin. All right.
Willie, by the way, is just dying of laughter, but of course no one knows that, and like you can see Oscar, like he is retaining this like super straight face, even though like he's about to start laughing as well, but he just kind of turns around and shakes the hand of the last guard we meet as we walk out and say, thank you for your time. We'll see you in about a week then.
All right. Let's take a break there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying episode 2 of Blades in the Dark. I know we are enjoying playing it. Shout out to the new followers we received over the last couple hours. Velvet Worm and MBuck15. Hello, Matt Buck. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Anyway, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. This is a perfect time to tweet out the stream to all your friends and say, hey, I'm watching this. You should too. Because the chat is way more fun when you are taking part in it. So, retweet this to your friends. Tell them about it. You can find us on Twitter, and I will put our link in the chat right now so that you can go to that Twitter and you can follow us and retweet the tweet we tweet about the stream. And if you are watching this and you're like, whoa, I don't even know what they did in the first session, you can always catch up on our YouTube right there. We do have the week 1 VODs up, and week 2 VODs will be up hopefully by Friday of this week as well. So, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back in 5. Thanks for watching, guys.